Right. Today is the mark of the last week of being able to get riding in before the trip. Today's, I want to say, the 25th. And actually my first ride since Hurricane Delta a couple weeks ago. The trails just opened up on Friday, I want to say 2 days ago. But then we had a big rain that evening. So this is my first ride. Woo! Yeah. I tell you, more and more roots get exposed every time I ride. Wearing my Fox Ranger gloves again. Second time. I already had to put them in the dishwasher. Clean them. Left them in the back of my truck. All that rain came through. Some leaks into the bed. Stayed wet. Stinking. So I threw them, as well as my On Cloud running shoes, in the dishwasher. Didn't really do a whole lot for shoes, besides kind of screw them up a little bit. Do have a couple of other new pieces of gear on today. Stay out the bud. And that is my G-Form knee pads. So I originally bought all Fox. Right, I'd be Fox fanboy without a Fox fork. Fox rear shock though. To match the Fox gloves, I had Fox knee pads and Fox elbow pads. But it had some like stretchy mesh netting, and then the pads were like kind of neoprene-ish foam. They weren't uncomfortable. They were a little on the tight side, and I just felt like they were going to be really warm, which if it gets cold in Sedona for whatever reason, colder than you know, the expected forecast, which is supposed to be mid-70s during the day. Maybe that would have been beneficial. But never wearing pads before and never riding 30 to 40 miles a day, I didn't want to chance it. Seeming slightly uncomfortable. Oh! Well, shit. Look at that. Damn near, well, it did take me off the bike. Gotta clear this. Somehow. I don't have anything. Anyway. I just grabbed my handlebars is what happened. Got through it. Just took hold of the bar. Ugh. Come on. And it took off a portion of my shifter. Where is that? Huh. I do not see it. Front shift cover. You let me know if you see it, because I sure as heck don't. The mosquitoes are, whew, mosquitoes are terrible. Seriously. Where did this thing go? I know it's here. I know it's here. I'll tell you, I know the mosquitoes are here, that's for damn sure. Well, shit. Set the bike down right here, didn't I? It would be right here then. Oh well. Here's what I'm referring to. I don't have a cover for the shifter. That sucks. All right. Ooh. Yeah, trees down, reroutes. Laura, or no, Delta, sorry, was not kind. To the trails. Telling you, more and more roots. Just the dirt is eroding. So, I guess back to the story. Bought some Fox knee pads and elbow pads for the Sedona trip coming up next week. And decided to send them back, which I did a couple days ago, because I do have at least knee pads, some G-form, which were a recommendation from Cody. They look cool. You know, I guess I was trying to be cooler than what I am by getting Fox stuff, because I do like the look, but when it came down to it, they were a little tight for me, even though I followed the sizing chart to the T. I was on the upper end, actually both brands I was, but the Fox just were a little less comfortable. Seemed like they would get hot really easy. So I got G-form knee pads. Hopefully I won't have to use them right here. I did order G-form elbow pads to match, but size extra large, which is what I need according to the size chart, is essentially non-existent out there in the retail space. I guess there's COVID manufacturing delays with them. But I ordered them anyway, because the original ship date was showing potentially just before the trip, like the day before I leave, to the end of November. So I figured, what the heck, why not? If they come in, great. If not, well, figure something else out. Or go naked on the elbows, which was a recommendation from Cody, rather than getting some other pads. So I got a update from Amazon last week. Said the ship date is now October 29th, which is this week, or November 1st. Because they were originally projecting November 14th as worst case scenario, so that's what they quote. So I may get them just within the nick of time, because we're leaving bright and early the morning of the 4th, which is a Wednesday. Flying out of Lafayette on United, which means I'm going to Houston, and then from Houston to Phoenix. So we'll be landing in Phoenix all around the same time, midday. Cody and I are renting our own vehicle. Got a pickup truck, so interesting to see what we'll get. Full size pickup, I believe. Woo. we'll head straight to Sedona, which is about a 2-hour drive out of Phoenix. Go pick up my bike or drop him off at the resort so he can start putting together his bike. Then I'll head over to Thunder Mountain Bikes, pick up my rental. So I'll probably be going with one of the other guys, I believe Tony's brother-in-law. Last minute addition to the trip. Rented a bike from Thunder Mountains as well. We're both getting Ritmo AFs. So I do not want to ride through that. So every bike comes with a tailgate pad. So perhaps we may need to either go in separate or explain to them that we actually have 2 vehicles. So we can get 2 tailgate pads, which would be really nice. Nice little contribution on behalf to the group. A little muddy. I think I am not going to ride another lap tonight. If the trails were, you know, back together, you know, I could crank it out, but not knowing what's around the next corner, whether it be a rerouted down tree or some vines to rip the cover off of your shifter, I think I don't want to chance it. So I will put some additional mileage on riding the walking path around Acadian Park. Perhaps maybe even try and convince Jennifer and Cole to ride around the neighborhood when I get home. Now that Jennifer has a bike available to her. It's a Trek 450 Cruiser. Got some stuff stuck in the calipers. The mosquitoes, oh my goodness. There we go, finally. All right, let's try this again. Struggling today, struggling. I was expecting that to be funk potato, but wasn't bad. So yeah, whoop. Don't hook the outside edge right there. Jennifer has access to a Trek 450 Cruiser, which belongs to Mr. Eric Barksdale, who leases the turkey rights of Single Shot, or has in the past. The bike he brought up to the camp because he liked to ride quietly. I'm assuming I'm going this way. But he didn't hunt last year, and I don't think he's used the bike in several years. So it was just sitting there gathering fungus and mildew and going unused. It was kept out of the weather, so to speak. It was outdoors. It was under the overhang shed. So it didn't get rained on, just had exposure to the elements. And but it was in good shape. Looked rough, still looks a little rough. Got some rusting on some parts, but it all functions. I mean, the fork is pretty bad off, but it still compresses and decompresses. I mean, it's a cheap coil fork, so I mean, not much to go wrong there, I guess. The dust boots on it were up, catching on some of the rusty parts of the stanchion. So, no problem. Still worked. It's rideable. Cleaned it off with the pressure washer, dried it all off good, and then lubed up the drivetrain and aired up the tires, which surprisingly, the tubes hold air after all these years. So yeah, man, if they want to go on a quick neighborhood ride, get some extra pedal strokes in, freaking limbs and twigs and shit. Oh, this is the worst. This is why I will not be riding another lap. It's terrible. This trail needs guys with big wide plastic leaf rakes. That's what this trail needs. Backpack blowers. Is that a rabbit? Yeah, it's terrible. Terrible. So I never got to mention the other piece of gear, new gear that I'm wearing, which I'm glad I'm trialing it. I don't know if I'm gonna wear it or not. It's my new Oakley Flak Jacket 2.0s. They're brand spanking new. White frames. I always wanted white frames. Not necessarily me for my first choice, but this felt like they're so clean, sporty. I've always wanted a pair. And coaching Cole's travel baseball team, the Louisiana Kings, I figured treat myself to some new glasses, because my original flak jackets that Cody gave me for being in his wedding have gone through 2 or 3 pairs of lenses and are beat to hell. So treat myself to some baseball glasses, right? Look the part. They look like baseball glasses. So I'm wearing them here today, along with the new gloves and the new knee pads, to try and get a feel for what all this would be like. Because normally it's just me and some shorts and a t-shirt, and maybe a camelback. Whoa, whoa. Ooh, that front tire tried to slip out from under me twice in the same direction. I think there were some slippery roots or limbs underneath that fallen branch that you couldn't see. It's right there in the turn. So Glad I didn't eat shit. All right, made it. By far the worst ride I've ever had over here. That was brutal. Brutal. So, like I said, let's get some extra distance here. I hope I got this GoPro angle dialed in. It would suck if you're sky gazing, because last time you're stuck looking right here in front. I think it's pretty close to level right now. Ooh, that baby got a long ponytail. Little birthday party going on. Little picnic. And that will conclude this evening's ride. Okay, GoPro, stop recording.